Episode 4, 終わったらしくなってきました. Life is busy. Konnichiwa and welcome to Elizabeth Goes to Miyazaki, Japan. Watashi wa Elizabeth desu. I'm Elizabeth. And in today's show, 終わったらしくなってきました. Life is busy. But first, 1週間どうお過ごしでしたか? How was your week? It's hard for everyone everywhere in the world right now. It really is. And I hope that you are keeping well and finding ways to take care of yourself with all of the upheaval with government and the pandemic and employment and schooling. There's just a lot. So thank you so much for spending your time with me and watching this show. I hope you learn a little something and it gives you a break from the things that you do every day. 今日何を作るでしょう? Today, what am I making? Bento, also known as bento boxes or Japanese-style lunch boxes. And in today's cultural note, it's my father-in-law's birthday, and I would like to introduce you to the fruit market or the luxury fruit gift market in Japan. 11月は1年の中でも忙しい時期です。11月は1年の中でも忙しい時期です。ハロウィンからホリデーシーズンに突入します。ハロウィンからホリデーシーズンに突入します。しかし、今年のホリデーシーズンはいつもとは何か違うような気がします。しかし、今年のホリデーシーズンはいつもとは何か違うような気がします。私は今日が金曜日でとっても嬉しいです。私は今日が金曜日でとっても嬉しいです。何か週末の予定は立てましたか? 何か週末の予定は立てましたか? 私は寝ることです。私は寝ることです。さて、お腹も空いてきましたので、何か作りましょう。Konnichiwa, minasan. Today we're going to make a bento or a bento box or a Japanese-style lunchbox. Over the last few episodes, we've made onigiri and tamagoyaki, but today we're going to make a few additional dishes to go into our bento. So to start, we're going to make a sazuke no moto with the following ingredients. We have water, salt, sugar, kombu, bonito flakes, red chili flakes, and we have rice vinegar. So to make our pickling liquid, we're going to start. We're going to add our water first, almost a cup of water. And then we'll add our salt and sugar. And our kombu. And start to stir it around. And what we're trying to do here is bring it to just about a boil, and the salt and sugar will dissolve. Our liquid has come just to a boil, and as you can see, the salt and the sugar have completely dissolved. So this is when we add our next two ingredients, the chili flakes and the vinegar. And you can turn this off. Sure, stir together. And now we're ready for our bonito flakes. The last ingredient we need for our pickling liquid is the bonito flakes. And we need to put that into our pickling liquid. So I have a paper towel here. This is the like Selecta size paper towel. So it's the half size. But if you have this available, you can also use one of these large sort of tea bags, but usually these are for making stocks. So you put like bonito flakes or other ingredients into them, and then you can close it like that. But today we're going to use a paper towel because everyone has this. So put your bonito flakes in the middle, and then you're basically going to just fold it over like this. Really nice and simple. And then this package is ready to go into our liquid. All you do is just put it into the pot like this. Just make sure it's submerged. And you can see that it's not opening, so this is fine. You don't have to do any extra steps like tie it with a string or anything. And now you just let this sit, let it come to room temperature, and then it can go into the refrigerator and it's ready to start pickling the veggies. So for our bento, we're pickling carrots and daikon radish. So what we did here is peel the carrot, peel the radish first, and then cut it into small pieces like this. And a good option for kids in particular is if you have small little cutters like this, you can cut cute little shapes. But if you can't be bothered to do that, you can just cut your carrots, or you can cut your radish in small, like a flat sort of shape like this. The point is that it's uniform and it's not too thick so that it'll pickle faster. With this liquid, it's a quick pickle, so you put your veggies in the liquid and you let it sit for about an hour, but up to a day and no longer. So I'll show you how to do that. So for this, use a plastic bag, and you use one type of veggie in each bag so that the colors don't transfer. So we'll just do the carrot, like that, and then some salt. And you've seen this technique before. You add your salt and then you massage it into the ingredient, and that seasons like that. And then once the salt has pretty much dissolved, we go to the sink and we rinse off the extra in cold water. So you know you're pretty much done when the bag starts to look a little wet on the inside, and that's when you go over to your sink, cold water into the baggie, move it around. Maybe one more time, just to make sure. Just removing the excess salt. Like that. All right, back at the counter, you just want to pat off the additional water because you don't want to dilute your pickling liquid. So just quickly, I mean, it doesn't need to be super dry. You're just removing the extra water like this into your bag, or, you know, a bowl. And then you want to take your cool pickling liquid and cover your veggies. And as I said earlier, this can sit for at least an hour and up to a day before it's no longer as good. And there we go. Another dish that we're making for our bento is either you can do a cucumber salad or a broccoli salad, but with a sesame sauce called goma-ai. So for that you will need sugar, mirin, soy sauce, and grated sesame seeds. Now these sesame seeds were grated in a food processor, but you could also use a coffee grinder, or if you have parchment paper and a rolling pin, you can roll the sesame seeds and break them down that way. But we use a food processor. So this is pretty simple. Enter a bowl, sugar, mirin, and we're going to add our soy sauce. And we're going to stir until the sugar is dissolved. Now I've finished stirring the sugar mixture, and you know that you're done when you no longer hear the gritty sound of the sugar. So that's when you add your sesame seeds. And then you just stir that together, and it'll be ready to coat your veggies. So because there is salt in here, you don't want to add it to your veggies too soon or let your veggies sit in this mixture for too long. But again, up to a day is okay, but I would try to eat it the day of. And I'm going to demonstrate how you want to cut the cucumber for your salad. And I know this might seem funny, but it's worth seeing and doing this step. So we have a small like Persian style cucumber here, and you want to peel it, but you're not peeling the whole cucumber. You're just gonna, I would say, do about 4 cuts, 4 peels, like that. All right. And then you want to cut your cucumber, and ideally you want to cut on the peel versus the skin. So cut it in half lengthwise. Seeds are okay. And then you want small cuts. So I finished cutting the cucumber into the bowl. And the next step is not to add the sesame sauce, but to season the cucumber. So for this size cucumber, I'm going to do about half a teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle it on the cucumber. And then we're going to work it in. The cucumber, you can see, is very wet now, and it's sort of releasing the additional salt. So you just want to pour that off, but just to be on the safe side, to make sure you get all that liquid out, and also to help dry the cucumber, you have a paper towel. Splitting. Probably need to use 2 paper towels, but you can squeeze out the additional liquid, and then we'll still pat it dry again. Our cucumber is just about ready for the sauce, I just want to pat it a little bit more because again, you don't want to dilute your sauce with additional moisture or with that salty water. And the cucumber, though, is very nicely seasoned. All right, and now we want to take our gomae sauce and add it to our cucumber, but also I have here steamed broccoli that also has a little salt. And these are just two options for our bento. So do that there. I'll stir that in a second. And the other half here. So you just want to stir to coat. Like this. Here's the broccoli. Now I'm going to show you how to make karaage, or almost like Japanese style fried chicken. And for this, we're going to be using chicken thighs, salt and pepper, garlic and ginger, sake, sesame oil, soy sauce. We also have flour and cornstarch. So you need a Ziploc bag for this. Makes it a little bit easier to mix and marinate the chicken. Chicken goes in first, and there is a little bit of skin on the chicken, and then salt and pepper. Right, so this is a quick and easy and very clean way to just mix your chicken and make sure it gets coated on all sides. All right, so when it looks like it's mixed together enough, open the bag again, and goes your ginger and garlic. This is the kind of job that you can also get a child involved in because you're using a Ziploc bag. They're not going to get their hands dirty, and they can just move everything around and massage the flavors into the chicken. Just like that. All right, that looks nice and mixed. And now we're going to add our liquids. So we have our sake. And now we're going to add our soy sauce and our sesame oil. And begin to mix that around. I have my liquids poured in, and I'm just doing the final mix, massage of our chicken. And at this point, you want to just let your chicken marinate for about 15 minutes, and then we'll add the last two ingredients, the flour and the cornstarch, and then our chicken will be ready to fry. So during the time while it's marinating, get your heat on your pot so that you can start to cook as soon as you're ready. The chicken has marinated for about 15 minutes, and now it's time to move to our final steps. We're going to add the flour first. included, and then the cornstarch. It already smells really good because of the garlic and the ginger. Alright, so now we're ready to move to the stove and start frying. I've transferred our chicken into a bowl to make it easier to fry. I don't think you want to try to move the chicken from the Ziploc bag into the oil. So put it into either on a plate or into a bowl. Remember not to overcrowd. So you cannot fry all of this at once. Just maybe 4 or 5 pieces. Alright, so you can already see what it looks like. Alright. I'm just looking for a nice toasty color. It's really nice. Give another second. Every once in a while, take a look, expose it to the air, make it a little bit more crispier. And I think these are ready to come out. So have beside you a tray with paper towel. And because these are small pieces, they don't take a long time to cook. But if you're never sure, leave it a little longer because we know that chicken needs to be cooked all the way through before eating. Over the last few episodes, we've made a variety of dishes that can go into the bento. So take a look here at all the things we've made. We started off with onigiri. We made our tamagoyaki, our omelet. We've made kimpita with chicken. Or today is just the burdock and the carrot. We have our chicken karage. And the dishes we made today, the 2 kinds of pickle. And then obviously your fruit. So there are a lot of different styles of bento. As you can see here, this is a very traditional looking style. Small variety, and we use really cute little liners that have a coating so that the nothing will leak into your box. And then we have, you know, for kids, kid-sized chopsticks, but obviously you could use a fork or a spoon as needed. And then what I have here is more of a, what do I have around the house or what do I have around the kitchen style bento, with just a regular plastic container with small little other containers that I use to hold food that I've made of, that I filled with ingredients that, you know, I would like to eat. So the onigiri, the chicken, there's an egg, the cucumber, and a little bit of pickle. So this could be an adult version. So my point here is to show that even if you don't have, a bento style lunchbox, or you don't have these particular liners, you can use smaller containers that you have at home. Use a little bit of aluminum foil to hold your food. You could use cupcake liners. Just a different way to present your meal than you would usually do. And it kind of gets you a little bit more excited. And especially for kids right now who are learning at home, there aren't many things to get them excited. So if you create like a little small bento for them with some of their favorite shapes, some of their favorite colors, they could be excited for their food. And even for adults who are either working from home or going into work every few days, a bento is helpful for that as well. One less thing to think about, but it's also a great way to get a variety of food at once and feel a little bit fuller. So I think sometimes lunch isn't always treated as well as like breakfast or dinner, but it is worth eating a hearty lunch. Today's cultural note has been inspired by my father-in-law's birthday. Tenjobi omedetou gozaimasu, Sei-chan. And Seiji is in the fruit business, but the fruit business in Japan looks a little bit different than it does elsewhere, particularly in the States. So Japan has a pretty robust gift-giving culture, and luxury fruit, or fruit as a luxury item, is a part of that. So the family business right now is in two parts. They are fruit purveyors, but they also have a fruit specialty store where they sell luxury fruit, and I would also call it a cafe because they do sell smoothies and juices and sandwiches as well. But to take it back in history, Nagono Shouten, sort of the first business, began in 1923. And if you know anything about Japanese history, Japan had not opened its borders again until the late 1800s. So not too long afterwards, the Nagono Shouten, the Nagono family business, began, but it took another 20 years or so after the war for the business to start getting into the fruit and vegetable market. So after the war, Japan had a pretty good economic recovery. Many grandfathers ago, Kanzaburo Nagano laid the foundation for the fruit and vegetable market in Miyazaki, Japan. And it is said, it's a family story, that the Emperor of Japan ate a banana from Nagono Shouten. A lot of money, or yen, can be spent on fruit, mostly because there is an industry, a fruit industry, that protects this luxury fruit. So there are standards, there are auctions that inform the price that you spend. So while you might spend $30 on a gift basket here in the States, which would have a variety of fruits and maybe some nuts and, crackers, maybe you'd spend $30, $40 on that, and it'd be a pretty large basket. You could spend that same amount of money on just one mango, and that is on the cheap side. You could spend a whole lot more depending on the market at the moment. So I just wanted to share that with you. I will be talking more about this in future episodes, but I just wanted to share with you this idea of a fruit specialty market, which is like a gift shop where you go and you pick out this luxury fruit, and it comes nicely packaged, and you present it to someone else. And that is the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm pretty excited for the cooking segment for today because it really built on all of the previous episodes. So I hope that you have had a chance to make onigiri or tamagoyaki, and some of the new recipes I introduced today. I hope you try those out and you create your own bento box. And then finally, with the cultural note, it was really a great honor for me to wish my father-in-law a happy birthday, but also to start to research and understand the fruit business and this idea of a gift shop, a fruit store as a gift shop, which is a different and new concept, but I guess sort of the same idea would be like a bakery. And we don't treat fruit the same way here in the States, but the idea of treating food better is something that I think everyone is trying to do. And so maybe we can take a lesson from this idea of a fruit specialty store. I don't know that I would want to spend the same amount of money on a mango or a melon all the time, but just knowing that farmers and a culture cares enough about a food to elevate it to such a high standard, to consider it a gift, I think has a pretty, it's an amazing idea. It's a great concept. So anyway, it's time to say goodbye. 今回の船内容を私たちのウェブサイトからチェックしてください。Please check our website for all of the show's content, show notes. 日本語のひらがな、カタカナ、漢字でも書いてあります。As well as all of the Japanese, written out by my husband. 次回のお知らせが届きますので、登録をよろしくお願いします。Please subscribe to receive a notification about future episodes. ご覧いただきありがとうございます。Thank you for watching. 次回にまたお会いしましょう。See you next time.